Welcome back to the Googan Lab. We have something new and exciting and tiny for you. Introducing new Googan Squad micros. Let's get into it. So we've all used big crankbaits and medium-sized crankbaits, and they catch bass a lot of different times of the year. But today we're going to be looking at the micros. So you can see the difference. This is a Grande Recon and this is a Micro Recon. What we've done is we've just reprofiled some of our baits to these micro versions, because shad, after they spawn, they'll create these little shad just like bass do, and a lot of things eat those, and sometimes bass get dialed on small shad. This usually happens in the summertime. It'll happen in the spring too. If you've got two shad spawns, you'll have a spring shad spawn and a late summer fall shad spawn. I especially notice it in the fall and summer when fish start schooling. And if you've noticed, you'll see them come up, even big bass, they'll come up and they're feeding on these tiny little bait fish. And I've always gotten out like little tiny spoons and little rooster tails, and gone to the crappie section of stores to buy these little tiny crankbaits that'll work for bass and other species when they're just feeding on those tiny shad. So now we have those micro versions, and we have them in the clutch, we have them in our Recon, we have them in the Banger. We've even got our spinner baits, we've got our frogs in smaller sizes. But the key is just matching the hatch. And when you start noticing those little clouds of bait and those little tiny shad, they're like the size of your thumbnail, and bass just eating them. They get zoned in on that size. That's when you want to start throwing these. So anytime you're seeing fish pop at the surface, schooling, they're chasing those little clouds, try these. If you're not getting bit on the bigger baits, your more traditional style baits, try throwing these and see what happens. Bass ate that in there, I'd be absolutely screwed. There's one. Oh my gosh. Largemouth. Oh. Nope, it's a white bass. It's big. Lucky that wasn't a giant. That one right there, I literally saw a school of those tiny shad that I was just talking about in there, and they are actually just like a little bit smaller than that. So this is perfect size. Here we go. Now when you're trying to throw these baits, you gotta have a light line and you gotta have light spinning gear. You're just not gonna be able to throw it on a bait caster. It's part of the fun. You get more fight out of the fish that way. But I'm actually throwing an ultralight rod right now with 6 pound fluorocarbon as a leader, and I have 10 pound braid. So very, very light setup. And having that light line is also going to help the bait run better, especially on the crankbaits. Because the thicker your line on a crankbait, the less action you're going to get out of it. So, and the less depth. So 6 pound line is perfect for these little crankbaits. Go. Buddy, come here. A little largy. Look at that. Ooh, yeah, gotcha, buddy. Feeding on little bitty bait. Got him on the micro. I'm gonna let him go. Go eat some more, bud. So, as you can see, not just panfish will eat these things. Can't wait to fish for crappie in the fall with them, and early spring when they're in that shallow brush as well. It's just perfect for that. You just gotta have a light setup and hang on for the fight. So if you want to see more tips, see more baits and everything that we're working on here at Googan Squad, subscribe right here to the channel. Go ahead and smash that like button. See you next time.